towards me was very acceptable. And a matter of fact, he didn't allow no one in his family or no other white person, or as far as black is concerned, to do anything to me. And his wife was more protective for me than he was. So that was an experience that I lived, that we could say was in contradictory to what a lot of other black people experienced. But I know it existed because he talked about it. He just didn't do it to me, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So that was my experience with that. And I've gone to other places, and I've had a few white people look at me kind of sideways, but they never followed it up. You know, I've had some people with me, and a couple white people got smart with them, and I put them in check. And it seemed like it was always easier, like a world come over and I don't know what happened. You know, they just backed off it. I knew we had in the Nation of Islam, the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, had a farm down in Alabama. Matter of fact, it was bigger than a farm. It was almost like a plantation. And we had a lot of watermelons he grew there. And we were taking them from the farm into Montgomery to the train yard. Mm-hmm. You know, we was putting them on the boxcars and shipping them to different places, different cities. And I got a flat tire on the truck, and I stopped to get it repaired. And while I was waiting, you know, I asked the man, would he be able to repair it? He was under the car, he never said nothing, so I waited. And, you know, I had to be there at a certain time, so I asked him again. So he came out from underneath the hood of the car like, you know, I was his little puppy or something. He just went off. At first I said, what's wrong with him? But he had such a vengeful look. Now this is in Alabama. Okay. And I don't know what came over me. I just lit him up. And the man that, he had a black man working for him. It looked like he looked like a slave, really. Right. He went over to start taking the tire off, because the tire that was flat was on the inside. So he had to take the outside tire to get to the one on the inside. He already took some of the bolts loose, because he heard me talking to the man. And so I told him, no, put it back on. He looked at me and I said, no, put it back on. So he put the tire back on. And the police station was right across the street from the place. So I went down to the next truck stop and had it taken off. But outside of that, I had no real trouble with the white people, okay. You know, personally.
Right.
However, I do know what they do.
Right. Now you said Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
I have had the distinct opportunity this day to somewhat commemorate the life of Rosa Parks.
Yes, sir.
Was that something that you were familiar hearing about growing up? The activity of Rosa Parks?
Oh, yes, sir.
At that time?
Yes, sir.
And your reaction to that, even at that time in your life?
Well, not just her, all of the particular people that found themselves in a struggle, especially for equality, right? Equal rights, what they call. I always thought, well, what they were doing, it was a good cause. However, the way they were going about it wasn't going to be successful. You know, you can know a thing, but don't be in a position to actually do anything about it. You know, that's what I experienced. To me, it let me know this is a cry from a people to another people for justice. But when the people can't, it won't do that. So it should be another course they should have taken, instead of, you know, having Dr. Martin Luther King, the things that happened to him and the people that were with him was totally uncalled for to get the results done, because Elijah was there at the time. So we could have easily done what we're supposed to have done for ourselves. But to make sure that white folks had no excuse, we went through all these particular things to make sure that if they really wanted to, they had the opportunity to do it. It wasn't that we didn't ask. We asked for justice. We demanded it. We marched. We did everything but took up guns to try to make them give us justice. So at this particular time now, they cannot say we didn't do everything that was humanly possible to achieve justice for ourselves. So that's what I thought then. I somewhat knew it wasn't going to be successful what Rosa Parks did. Okay, you're in front of the bus now, so what? You know, it's nice that maybe that we can do that, just feeling from our own self. But the man that actually has the power to determine what we feel, controls everything. You know, he makes the bus. He makes the seats in the bus. You know, he makes the doors to the bus. He makes the gas for it and everything. He makes the streets for the, you know, the bus stops. He do all that himself. So we do nothing but ride them. So if this is all we want to do is ride in the front,
no big deal, right?
no big deal. You know, no big deal.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background.
Well, I graduated.
And then with that, I don't mean to interrupt you, and with that, maybe if you have a critique of the educational system in this country too, I'd be glad to hear about that too.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I graduated from high school to 12th grade. However, what I learned there really was nothing, you know, especially what I know now. And the educational system in this particular country is one that serves a tyrant. And it either make you a tyrant or it will not allow you to become a civilized person. It dumbens you down. And that's why you can look in the street. In other words, the system has reached its zenith. So the only way it can go now is down. So, and this is why we are witnessing all these different tragedies in school from young people. Because they're not being taught anything. They're being dumbed down. You know, if they were being taught in such a way where everybody almost knew how to put something together to go to the moon or go out in space and come back, not just a select number of people, you know. It's almost like they're secret, you know, the knowledge that they got and how they utilize math and whatnot. They've been taught in an elitist form or whatnot. But however, the average man, he's so far from that the ones that are doing that don't even associate with them. So that's something that is should not be. You know, they put on the screen, on the TV, and advertisement, you know, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But they're the one that wasted them. If you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. Tell me now how you came to discover your mission, how you came to the understanding of who you were, and who you are, I should say, rather.
I accepted Islam the way that Elijah put it out.